Howdy folks, Bluesboyjag here with yet another 4-string cigar box guitar lesson. It's the Rolling Stones and Tumbling Dice. We're tuned to open G. So that's an A string tuned down to G, and a D string tuned normal to D, another G string, and a B string. G, D, G, and B. Super common open tune cigar box guitar tuning. Also, it just happens to be the exact same tuning that Keith Richards uses on his 5-string guitar. So, we're going to be capoing this up to the 4th fret. So if this is a G, then that's an A, a B, and a C. So we are in the key of C. This song is not that difficult. It does have a couple of interesting, cool licks for sure. I'm using my fingers. I don't like to use a pick on the cigar box guitars, but you can if you like. So let's get started. So this is obviously a shuffle rhythm, but it's sort of a funky shuffle rhythm. Instead of your usual, they kind of took the blues riffs and made it a little bit more funky, and that's the Rolling Stones sound. And the reason it sounds the way it does is because it's tuned open, and you can choke with your fingers. And that gives you a funky sort of a blues shuffle. Which initially, when I was a kid, it really attracted me to the sound of the Rolling Stones. I really liked that sound. I didn't obviously understand it back then because I didn't play guitar. But I really liked that, what I call chugga-chugga rhythm. It's got that kind of funky feel instead of your usual. And I'm pretty sure that it sort of happened by happenstance when he decided to experiment with the open tuned 5-string guitar. He took his 6-string off completely. And you don't even need to use any fingers on these open chords. And that allows you to do all this funky muting. All right, so the very beginning of this song, we're going to be on the 2nd string on the 2nd fret. We're going to slide up 2 frets and come back down. And then we're going to pull off. Takes a little bit of pressure, and you might need a pretty good callus. If you don't have calluses, you will after you practice this song a few times, because you're pulling that string off. So you just want to slide up 2 frets with your 1st finger, come back down. I'm only picking it once, by the way. All in one movement. Slide up, come back down, and then pull off to 0. That's the whole thing. So, when you slide up, you come right back down, and you pull off that 2nd string to 0. And the next part is just a pull off on the next string. So you're pulling off from 2 to 0. And the last one, you're sliding up from 2 to 4, and then you're pulling off to 0. Interestingly enough, these 2 strings are tuned identically. So this is the classic, famous Keith Richards funky shuffle. All those chokes make it real funky. He also likes to come back on the upstrum on those chords. So I'm using my 1st finger on the 3rd string to do the shuffle. but I'm choking every single strum. If you haven't done this, it is a little bit tricky at first. So I'm pressing down, first finger, and I'm going to be on the third string, right there. The first one is no fingers at all. And I'm muting with my fingers. That's why they're flopping around everywhere. It takes some practice. If you haven't done this, it's totally different than your normal, let's say, straight down, up strumming. So when I put this first finger down, I'm on the third string, second fret with my first finger. I'm choking with my second and third and fourth fingers. They're flopping around. So, from the top, slide up, come back down, and pull off. Slide up 2 frets, come right back down and pull off to 0. I'm only plucking it 1 time. Then we go to the second fret on the third string. Pull it off to 0. All in one smooth movement. And the last part, you go to that fourth string, second fret, slide up 2 frets and come back down, pull it off to 0. And notice that that second string and the fourth string are tuned identically. One's an octave below. They're both G's. Pretty cool. Now, the famous Chugga Chugga Keith Richards rhythm. So I'm starting out playing the open G chord like this. I'm just playing no fingers at all, and I'm strumming, and I'm choking immediately after the strum. Instead of your rhythm, you're doing a funky, choked rhythm. And I'm only using my first finger on the third string, second fret. And notice how these fingers are flopping everywhere. That's because I'm choking with my second, third, and fourth. They're just kind of flopping. I'm not pressing down, I'm just letting them flop. And that kills the strings. So what you want to do is practice this for a minute or 2 or 3 or 5. Because when I'm playing this, if you look real close, my first finger is pressing down, and then I'm choking all the other ones. So I'm strumming all 4 strings, but you're only hearing the top 2. Or I should say the lower 2. So I'm going to start out here, second string, whoops. That's the gist of the entire song. There's a couple of other parts in there, obviously, but that's most of the entire song. Doing that rhythm. And the trick is these fingers flopping everywhere. So when I press down that first finger on the third string, these fingers flop down and kill it. I'm also lifting this finger up to kill that string. So the open strings are killed with these fingers. And I'm muting this one or killing it by lifting up. So when I do this, you get a real short chord. And you see these fingers flopping, and that first finger stays right there. So I'm lifting this off the fretboard as well to kill it. Notice how I'm coming back on that upbeat. So I'm accenting that upbeat right here. And again, fretting with the first finger and choking with the second, third, and fourth. All right, so believe it or not, we're about 3/4 of the way through the whole song. There's only a couple different parts to it. So the next part, I'm on the 11th fret, right before the double dock. And then I come back on the up strum for the 0 chord, which is your G, no fingers at all. That's why I call it the 0 chord. So you end up with, that's on the 11th fret, and then click, then you play that up strum, no fingers at all. Then I'm putting my first finger on 1-1, and my second finger is going to be on 3-2. So, first finger is on 1-1, second finger is on 3-2. So, from the top. And this is the verse, and you stay on this particular rhythm for a while. Probably, I don't know, 15, 20 seconds. Notice I'm choking. You pretty much have to do all that choking to sound like Keith Richards. It doesn't sound right if you do a straight rhythm like this. Not only do you have to choke, but you want to accent that upbeat. Right there. So. Believe it or not, we're done. All right, so what was that part? So I'm barring across here, and I'm on the 9th fret. And I'm doing that same chord. And you stay here for a long time. That's your 11th fret, 0, and then I'm doing that suspended chord. And then you move up here to the, what is that, 9th fret, and back up to the 11th. And again, same rhythm I did before, but I'm using my pinky 2 frets above my first finger. I'm not using my second finger at all, or my third finger. Might look like it, but my third finger kind of curls up there. So I'm not using that third finger at all. I'm just barring with my first finger, and 2 frets above that, I'm using my pinky on the 3rd string. And then move all that up 2 more frets. Believe it or not, that's the entire song. So when we started out, now we're on the beginning of the song, playing that chugga-chugga rhythm. And you stay there for a while, and you'll figure out how long is when you play along with the record. That's the last part of the song. First finger is going to be on the 2nd string. And on the 2nd fret, and then you go to 0. Same thing on the 3rd string. And then we go to the 4th string. That's the whole song. So how would you play a guitar solo here? The best spot is right here. So in this case, we're going to be on the 9th fret and the 7th fret. And then open. Don't forget you can play the open 1, 2, 3, and 4 strings. And the 3rd fret. So, if you're playing a solo on this, it's sort of your pentatonic. And there's your box right there. Have fun with that. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and check out my website, jagshouse.com. Cigar box guitars just like this one for 20 years. We'll see you next time.